Hi, I'm Davin from Wrench and Rodent. This is tuna. Today we're going to use its eyeballs to flavor its meat. Like a crazed doctor, we're going to extract the eyeballs and the cookie dough stuff from behind the eyeballs, and we're going to simmer it in a foil pouch. And the vitreous humor is going to leak out slowly and mix with the garlic and the celery leaves. And by the end of it, we're straining it and it'll make a beautiful glaze. You really don't want to cut super close to the eyeball, because if you pop the eyeball, we lose all the juice that we're really looking for. So what I've found is best to make this little skin tab. And this also opens it up for you to come back later and get at the cheeks. Well, there's the back of it. So be really careful. You can see that whole thing is the eyeball right there. So what we want to do, we want to be really careful not to pop these. And now that we've pulled our tab, we have a nice clear spot. The best way to do this is to dig in with your fingers, because your fingers aren't sharp like the knife. And get savage. Any of this cookie dough is super good. So we have the jelly inside, the vitreous humor. We have the eye muscles. Somewhere in there is the optic nerve in the back that got severed. But most importantly, we have an eyeball that hasn't been popped. So this delicious juice is going to leak out slowly over time as we steam it on the smoker in this foil pouch. So what we're going to steam it with, we have a little bit of salt and pepper, more pepper, an ice cube, garlic, and this is a celery that we grow just for the leaf. On the smoker, the ice cube kind of works as a time-delayed, time-release steam for the eyeball, not submerging the eyeball in water right away. If the eyeball is fully submerged in that, it kind of cooks it, and it's not very good. So it's also going to help us with the heat. It'll keep it at a moderate, slow steam temperature, and as the ice cube slowly melts, that will give us the steam to cook the vitreous humor and eventually have it pop out, leak out, where we'll collect it and feed it back to you. Vitreous humor is basically like saltwater jelly with a lot of fish flavor. So you really want to be careful seasoning it, because it kind of has its own seasoning already built into it. So we're going to flip our fish. Fun random fact, you never flip a fish over its belly, you always flip a fish over its shoulder, because you have meat that's a little more firm. Same as before, alien autopsy. Pull your little tab back. Now we have a clear path at the eyeball, getting savage. Got all that cookie dough. Cookie dough is this white fat that hides behind the eyeball, and that's going to add the sweetness. So as this cooks out, that cookie dough is really important in there, because that sweetness will balance the saltiness of the eyeball juice. And then there's going to be a really nice kind of a dashi flavor going on in there too. So now we're just going to wrap this up. One little trick, I always double up on the foil, just because you never, if you turn your back on the smoker, you have one extra layer of protection. And there's nothing worse than having your aluminum foil burn through and all your eyeball juice just burn away. So now we have our little pouch. There's nothing like making eyeball soup on a rainy day. We're just gonna put that there. It's been about 2 hours. The rain finally let up, so we're gonna pull it out right now. We're in the state of California, and we don't know when we're gonna see sunshine again. So you can see the eyeballs popped. All that beautiful juice is leaked out. Because we took it nice and slow, you can see how clean it is. Now we're gonna strain it. It's a little fishy, a little salty, a little bit of oil, just perfectly balanced. There's a little bit of that garlic, but it's almost like concentrated tuna flavor. Just so you know, we didn't take the eyeball and throw the rest of the fish away. Here's a little piece of it. It's the same fish. So we're just gonna go real basic here, and we're just gonna make tuna sushi flavored with its own eyeball juice. We pull the angle and go down and make that ridge. Does two things. Number one is it's gonna hold the sauce, and number two, it looks cool. And we like things that look cool. So the trick is to get your hands Wet enough to where the rice doesn't stick to your hands, but not so wet that the rice won't stick to anything. Now, we want to limit the amount of time we're touching the fish because the best sushi is super cold fish, lukewarm body temperature rice. You don't want to mash the rice too much because you like it nice and fluffy. So we just kind of shape it into place. We're just going to give it a little drizzle of its eyeball juice. As the eyeball juice cools, it tightens up. Here we have yellowfin tuna glazed in its own eyeball juice. Please like, subscribe, leave any comments you like, and no matter what, take a look.